The court case to shut down Uber in Toronto is facing a bumpy start. The mobile app connects passengers with drivers for hire, some of whom don't have a taxi or limo license.
Some cab drivers say that's not fair, and today they took to the streets to make sure they were heard. Nally Collada joins us live. And Nally, hundreds of drivers took part in today's very loud protest.
Oh yes, there was a large number of drivers, and if you were to check the Uber app, as many people did, and actually tweeted about it during the protest, you would find that some of the drivers protesting Uber were actually Uber drivers. So lots of debate on this topic as the city does what it can to try and get Uber out of operating in Toronto.
Hundreds of taxi drivers sounded their displeasure today with Uber, blocking traffic and clogging the downtown core to protest the ride-sharing service.
To operate the city, they don't pay a tax, they don't do anything, but we have to pay a tax for the licensing, for everything.
We don't need some outside foreign company to come and make their own rules here. This is not how Canada works.
Uber does not pay the same fees to operate in the city or insurance costs as traditional taxi services. The company applied for a taxi brokerage license about a month ago, but in court today, city lawyers began arguments to shut down the app in Toronto, telling the judge they are breaking the law. They are effectively taxis. When it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, you should call it a duck. The company doesn't own a fleet of vehicles. Instead, it connects customers to drivers through an app.
People are broke in the city, so they want to use the cheapest, quickest option, and sometimes Uber is just that much more available.
There should be room for innovation. There should be room for choice.
Commenting on the protest today, an Uber spokesperson told CBC, "Rather than blocking roads and preventing people from getting where they need to be, we are focused on meeting the needs of Toronto riders and drivers who are all too often left out of the debate."
I think it's
Toronto's mayor has repeatedly opposed the injunction, though John Tory says Uber shouldn't be allowed to flout the city's rules for taxis. The judge said today the rules are up to the city. With the internet evolving, you had the opportunity to address the issue and change the bylaw. Is it my job to do your job?
Now, Uber also said in a statement today that it is working and committed to working with the city on getting a regulatory framework for a ride-sharing program. As for how this will all end up, well, that is yet to be determined. Court continues tomorrow. Reporting live, I'm Natalie Collada.
Interesting start. Thank you, Natalie.